Okay, y'all, this might sound a little bit crazy, but I gave birth with zero pain. No pain. And no, I didn't have an epidural. I didn't use any pain meds, and I'm about to tell you exactly how.
I feel so free, oh my sweet baby.
Hello, my friend. Welcome back to my channel. And if we haven't met yet, my name is Eve. I am a Catholic mama to 2 sweet babies, a former labor and delivery nurse who left bedside nursing to become a birth doula and a childbirth educator so that I could help moms achieve their natural birth goals in a more personal way. So I'm super happy to be here with you today sharing about this topic because it is one that really lights me up and I feel like not nearly enough people are talking about it. So back in April of 2022, I gave birth to my daughter Avila in a birth center with zero pain medication in the water, and it was completely unexpectedly pain-free. So let me be clear, I actually didn't go into birth expecting my birth to be pain-free. I definitely prayed for it. I had heard a few testimonies of women who had experienced birth without pain, but if I'm honest, I was probably like 1% convinced that this was actually possible. I kind of thought maybe it was like a fluke thing. Definitely didn't expect it to happen to me, but it did happen. And ever since then, I've honestly been borderline obsessed with figuring out why. Because I want more women to know that birth doesn't have to be as scary as it sounds, and it can actually be a really positive experience. And it can be positive regardless if you experience pain or not. I'm not saying that's what makes it a good birth experience. And while of course I cannot guarantee a pain-free birth if you do these things, I can give you the roadmap that I really believe made it possible for me to have this happen, and that I've seen work for a lot of other women too, to at least drastically reduce pain during their labor birth. When I tell people that I gave birth without pain, I usually kind of get one of two reactions. Sometimes people are super skeptical, which is 100% understandable. I was too before I had this happen. People will say things like, that's not possible, or you must just have a super high pain tolerance. Spoiler alert, I do not have a super high pain tolerance. My husband always talks about how dramatic I am. I'm the type of person to like freak out if I stub my toe and then cry about it for 2 hours, okay? So that's definitely not it. And then I also have people say things like, well, good for you, but this is just not realistic for most women, which I get it, okay? I get it. But I have to say, I really thought pain was inevitable too until I experienced something totally different. And of course, when it comes to birth, there are a lot of factors that are outside of your control. So things like baby's positioning, your anatomy that you might not even be aware of what's happening, unexpected complications with you or baby. And so again, following these steps is not going to guarantee you a pain-free birth because literally nothing in birth or in life is guaranteed. But I will say this, there are so many things that we actually do have power over. Now, maybe not total full control over, but we at least have the power to shift things in a positive direction and in a way that is going to benefit us or set us up for success. I really believe that when we take ownership of these things, the likelihood of an easier and far less painful birth goes way up. So in this video, we're going to talk about the science of why birth feels painful for some women and not so much for others, what you can do to make birth less painful or even possibly pain-free, and why it's not about pain tolerance, like I just mentioned, but actually about surrender. Again, I'm not here to promise you pain-free birth, but I do want to show you how to work with your body instead of against it, no matter what happens, so that you walk away from your birth experience feeling empowered, at peace, and in awe of what your body just stinking did, mama. You just did it. Okay, so before we get into the practicals of how we actually reduce pain in labor, we need to talk about why labor is actually often painful in the first place. Despite what we've been told our whole lives pretty much growing up and conditioned to believe, pain is actually not an automatic feature of birth. It's actually a response to specific physiological conditions in the body. And this might sound kind of woo-woo, but it's not. It's not about mind over matter. It's actually neuroscience. And when you understand how this works, you'll see why birth can be far less painful or even pain-free when the right conditions are put in place. Okay, so what's actually happening in the body during labor that causes pain? Let's talk about it. So most people assume that pain in labor comes from contractions themselves. When we think of labor pain, we kind of equate that with labor contractions. But contractions are actually not inherently painful. They are just the uterus working. So what actually causes causes pain then? The uterus, like any other muscle, requires two things to function. So it needs oxygen and it needs glucose. When oxygen levels are low, the uterus produces something called lactic acid. You might have heard of this before. It's the same thing that causes a burning sensation in your muscles while you're working out. So either like you're sprinting too long or you're lifting weights and you get that burn, that is from lactic acid. And the uterus contains something called nociceptors or pain receptors, and they respond to that lactic acid buildup, as well as the mechanical stretch from the cervix and the ligaments expanding from the contractions. But, and this is key, just because nociceptors detect a sensation doesn't mean they actually have to be experienced as pain. Pain doesn't actually come from your uterus, it comes from your brain. And your brain can block pain, but only if you activate it. Now, before you click off of this video and you're like, this is going to be some hypnobirthing, like she's gonna tell me to just have the right mindset. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying like pain is just a thought process and you need to overcome it. That's not what I'm saying. This is 100% like science-based. It's not really theoretical at all. Actually, it's just your body's physiology that nobody is telling you about. So now we're going to talk about the brain's natural pain relief system that can be activated in the right conditions. This is literally a built-in part of the labor process. So God designed your brain with an incredibly powerful pain blocking mechanism called beta endorphins. Now, these are your brain's natural opioids. They're actually up to 9 times stronger than morphine, and they are released in response to oxytocin, which is the labor hormone. We also have something called enkephalins, which are neurochemicals that block pain signals in the periaqueductal gray region of the brainstem, but you don't have to remember that. It's called the PAG. When labor unfolds naturally, here's what happens in the body. So we have a rise in oxytocin, which creates those rhythmic and productive contractions. And when we have lots of oxytocin, beta endorphins flood the system, and the brain therefore suppresses pain signals. And then as a result, pain perception is dramatically reduced, possibly even eliminated. This is why many women describe birth as intense, powerful, and even euphoric, but not painful. And I also want to be clear here that when I'm talking about the brain not perceiving contractions as painful, that still doesn't mean that you wouldn't feel the contractions. You still feel that intense pressure and stretching, but it's not interpreted by the brain in the same way that like breaking a bone would be because of endorphins. You can also think about when you do break a bone or experience something that's genuinely painful, how usually at first you don't even feel it, or you might not feel it until you see the injury. That's because of endorphins. We have the same thing going on in our brain in response to oxytocin production. Okay, so we know now about endorphins, but there is one thing that can completely shut down this system and make birth significantly more painful than it needs to be, and that is fear. Okay, so we have this built-in design to make birth less painful, but still so many women experience the complete opposite. And that's unfortunately because modern birth culture hijacks the system and it really triggers stress, fear, and pain in us. When a woman feels afraid, her brain activates the amygdala, which triggers a fight or flight response. Now, the amygdala is that part of our brain that's basically like our built-in alarm system. When that fight or flight response kicks in, the body floods with adrenaline and cortisol, which are stress hormones, and they're designed for survival. So you've probably heard of this before. If you saw a bear in the woods, fight or flight would kick in and you would either run or you would get loud and yell. Okay, so but the thing is, when this fight or flight response kicks in, it actually shifts blood flow away from the uterus and toward the limbs. Because in nature, if you're in danger, your body would prioritize running away from whatever that thing you needed to be scared of was over giving birth or over digesting or any other like body function that is non-essential at that moment. And of course, what does blood do? It carries oxygen to our organs. And what were the two things that we needed to have effective contractions? Glucose and oxygen. Oh, and a little just like thing I want to drop in here at this point is the fact that we're not going to talk about this too much in this video, but glucose is an essential part of what you need to have productive contractions, yet we're constantly withholding food and drink from women in labor. So that's just another little food for thought point here. Okay, so adrenaline shunts blood away from the uterus, and it also conveniently ultimately blocks oxytocin. So oxytocin and adrenaline cannot be high at the same time. When adrenaline surges, oxytocin production naturally slows down. And remember, that's what we need to have productive, effective contractions, is the brain producing lots of oxytocin. So with less oxytocin, contractions become less efficient and more painful because the uterus is now working harder with less hormonal support. And then, of course, we're coming full circle because without oxytocin, beta endorphins stop being released. And with no endorphins, pain receptors in the uterus send unchecked pain signals to the brain. They're picking up that feeling of lactic acid because we don't have as much oxygen now, and the beta endorphins aren't blocking those pain receptors anymore. So now mama is going to feel every contraction as pain instead of as functional pressure. And of course, fear and tension cause shallow breathing and muscle tightening. When you're scared of something and interpreting it as pain, you're more naturally going to tense up against it, but that's not what we need to do during labor. And again, this leads to the uterus not getting enough oxygen, which then leads to lactic acid buildup. Lactic acid stimulates nociceptors, increasing pain perception. Now, this whole thing we just went over, this is called the fear, tension, pain cycle, and it's why birth in many cases feels so painful for so many women. Many women get trapped in this cycle because of a few factors, okay? So one, they've been conditioned to believe birth is terrifying, so they go into birth thinking it's going to be horrible. Two, they're birthing in environments that actually trigger fear, and I mean like primal fear, not like, oh, I'm consciously scared, but like your mammal brain starts to feel afraid in the presence of sterile, bright environments with unfamiliar people, etc. And then many women are also surrounded by providers or people who plant seeds of doubt instead of seeds of confidence. But here's the good news: if we interrupt this cycle, the fear, tension, pain cycle, and instead create an environment where oxytocin and endorphins flow freely, pain can be significantly reduced or even completely eliminated. Now we're going to talk about how to reverse the fear, tension, pain cycle. Okay, so pain in labor isn't just about contractions. Again, it's about how your body and brain interpret those contractions. So if we want birth to be less painful, we need to eliminate fear before labor begins so that our amygdala doesn't get triggered to produce adrenaline. We also need to optimize oxytocin production to keep things progressing smoothly and make sure that we're producing endorphins. We also need to rewire the brain's perception of birth so that contractions feel like that powerful, functional stretching and pressure instead of painful suffering. In short, if we can keep oxytocin high, adrenaline low, and endorphins flowing, labor becomes drastically less painful. And that is actually not just theory, that is science. Now, I'm about to tell you guys a quick rundown of how to do these things, but if you're enjoying this and you want some more resources, you can get on the waitlist for my Wholly Confident Birth course, which is going to go through all of these things in way more detail and depth. Enrollment is opening again at the end of this month, and I've really poured my heart and soul into this course. I'm so excited to be putting it out there for you guys. So if y'all are interested, there is going to be a waitlist link down below. Okay, so retraining the brain. How do we do this? The first step is completely shifting how we think about birth. We've been conditioned by media, by medical institutions, and by well-meaning but probably traumatized women to believe that birth is always painful and always dangerous. But that's just not the reality of God's design for birth, okay? One of the biggest reasons that birth feels painful for so many women is because we've been trained to see it as a medical emergency instead of a biological function. Just think about it for a second. When was the last time that you saw birth portrayed as normal in media? For me, never. Never. Also, how many women have been told by their doctors that their bodies are essentially incapable of giving birth without intervention? And how many of us enter labor expecting to be saved from something that our bodies were literally designed by God to do? Birth is not a pathology. It is a physiological process until proven otherwise, just like digestion, breathing, or sleeping, okay? And this is part of the issue that I see is birth is treated like scary and an emergency until proven otherwise, and not healthy and normal until proven otherwise. And a lot of the times in the process of managing that mindset, we tend to make birth an emergency by all of our interventions that we do unnecessarily. I mean, we can take digestion as an example, right? Okay, it's a perfectly normal, healthy thing that our bodies do, but sometimes our digestion doesn't function optimally. And sometimes in the event that you have a medical condition or you have a bug or something like that, medical intervention is required, but you wouldn't go and take medication implications for your digestion if you were functioning healthily and well, right? Because it's just a normal part of what our bodies were made to do. Birth is the same way. This matters because pain, again, it's not just a physical sensation, it's a neurological response. And that neurological response is heavily influenced by expectation. So studies show that when people anticipate pain, they experience way more of it. So if you go into labor expecting agony, expecting danger, then your brain is naturally going to interpret every situation and sensation as painful. But if you go into labor expecting intensity, but not necessarily pain and agony, your brain is less likely to interpret these sensations as suffering. So a couple practical tips of how we do this: flood your mind with positive birth stories, because I promise you there are some. I'll be putting out my first birth story next week, so if you want, you can listen to that one because it's a really cool one. There are also so many other testimonies of women who have loved their birth and not agonized over it, okay? So flood your brain with those ones. Immerse yourself in birth education that teaches birth as normal, not pathological, not inherently an illness, okay? And then cut out voices that reinforce fear. Second thing is that we need to be choosing a provider and a birth setting that support you. Now, I'm just going to be blunt here. Your birth setting and your provider are way more than just a backdrop for your birth. They actually have the most power, in my opinion, through my experience, out of anything to make or break your birth experience. And you might think, oh, I can just ignore my provider's negativity, I trust my body, but your brain is always listening, okay? So studies show that when a person in authority expresses doubt or fear, our subconscious mind absorbs it, even if we consciously disagree. So if your provider says things like, your baby might be too big, or let's see if your pelvis is wide enough, or if your body can give birth naturally, or most women can't handle labor without an epidural. Even if you go into labor feeling confident, those tiny seeds of doubt, I promise you, they're sitting in the back of your brain somewhere, and when labor starts getting intense, then those tiny seeds of doubt are likely to bloom into full-on fear. And again, we know what that means. Fear releases adrenaline, adrenaline blocks oxytocin and endorphins, and up goes your pain, okay? So this is why choosing a provider who speaks life over you and confidence over you is non-negotiable. You need to understand that the decision you make here actually has literal biological consequences. So if you do nothing else, do this. 3, optimize your body's hormonal environment. Okay, this is the most important part of this whole process. God designed your body to be for you and not against you, okay? But we need to learn how to tap into that and activate that. We can do that by encouraging oxytocin production. So to do that, we need things like privacy and dim lighting. Just like during intimacy with your husband, birth requires kind of a primal state of relaxation, right? You're probably not going to get too into things with your husband if the door is wide open and there are people chilling in eyesight in your living room. Birth is the exact same. Loving touch and support also really helps. So having a calm, supportive team that can actually physically reduce pain through touch, counter pressure, and offering things like warmth and cold and other kinds of comfort measures, and also just their verbal support is really huge. And of course, supporting uterine oxygenation through things like deep belly breathing, which ensures that your uterus gets enough oxygen to function. A well-oxygenated uterus produces less lactic acid, which makes contractions more effective and more comfortable. Remember, glucose is also important too, so we want to nourish and hydrate as well. And using movement and positioning. So certain positions really help the uterus work with gravity instead of against it, and movement will impact coping, which will also influence everything else. If you want help knowing how to move in labor, because I know that can be a tricky thing to figure out for a lot of women, I will leave my free labor positions guide in the description of this video, and that's going to tell you all the ways that you can support your body with movement and even troubleshoot things like labor stalls and emotional hangups and stuff. So that's a good resource. I'll leave that down below for you. All of this to say, essentially, you need to remember that birth is a hormonal event and your hormones will dictate your experience more than anything else. Okay, so to wrap up here, can every woman or will every woman have a pain-free birth? No, probably not. But can every woman take steps to make birth dramatically more comfortable? Yes, absolutely. I'm so passionate about helping women to realize that your body was literally designed by God to do this. And the more you understand it and support it and trust it, the more likely you are to experience birth in a way that completely shatters the fear-based narrative that you've been handed. Again, if you want to go even deeper into this, I have an entire birth course, the Holy Confident Birth Course, that teaches you how to approach birth through a completely different lens than what culture has. And again, if you want to get on the wait list, you can find that in the description below. And if you have had a pain-free or low pain or powerful birth experience, I would really love to hear about it in the comments. I always love hearing other women talk about birth from a positive place. So please share your story, build up other mamas that might be waiting to experience labor who are watching this video, and I will see you back here next week. Bye, my friend.